The conversations that people are having right now are filthy. Filthy. Like, respectfully, the conversations that people are having right now are filthy. And that's why in this video, we're going to put up Drake's #1 hits and Michael Jackson's #1 hits. And because as some of y'all might not know, but Drake did just pass Michael Jackson in #1s on Billboard, right? But you know, and I know, there's a whole lot of context surrounding that taking place. We all know this. We've seen things happen in the last week or so that show us the level of validity in that achievement in general. Like we just got to keep it real, okay? On top of this, right? People are having discussions genuinely, right? And I think it's coming from the people that you would expect. Has Drake surpassed Michael Jackson as a musician? Has Drake surpassed Michael Jackson as an icon? Has Drake surpassed Michael Jackson as a legend? Has Drake surpassed Michael Jackson in contribution? And the funny thing about this is, it seems outlandish, right, to the people that know, to the people that are aware. But you got to remember, there's a whole nother generation of kids that these guys are marketing to, right? And that more than likely do not have the context. I know everybody thinks, oh, this musician was this in my life, so therefore they have to be that in everybody else's life. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And from generation to generation, some legends just don't pass on as efficiently as others, or, you know, if enough time has gone by, they can even be forgotten or minimized. So, especially with all the stuff that surrounded Michael Jackson's name. So a lot of the kids, you feel what I'm saying, outside of the kids who know or being taught or going to see the biopic or whatever, they're not aware of Michael Jackson's, greatness and what he really contributed. They have to go do the due diligence and do the research, right? So the narratives that are being pushed are really not for the people who are aware, but for the younger generation, right? For the people who they want to make it look as if Drake has reached that status that Michael Jackson was at, that Michael Jackson left and let the legacy he left behind. And it could seem that way to young people who are unaware. But that's what I'm saying. Y'all know there's so many holes in this, from the manipulation of the numbers and the Spotify. We just caught Spotify. Like less than 2 weeks ago. Trying to manipulate the numbers in favor of Drake, trying to boost Drake's numbers. We just caught them. They admitted it themselves. And the thing is, they wouldn't have admitted it if the BTS fans wasn't putting belt to ass. BTS was putting BTA. If it wasn't for them doing that, Spotify wouldn't have came out and admitted, yes, we manually counted multiple songs to go into one song to make it seem like Drake got that record. They admitted that. And this is the person we supposed to be comparing to Michael Jackson, right? Somebody where people, and look, it's not even just Drake, it's Kendrick, it's whoever you want to name that's coming up in this streaming era. You can't compare them to Michael Jackson. Now, I'm not mad at Kendrick being, having these little inklings of Michael, but just based on the Super Bowl stuff and the stadium tour stuff. When you go see what Michael Jackson was doing and what he was doing with these stadiums, even in the biopic, that's closer to Kendrick than anybody in the game. We just seen Kendrick do the stadiums. So you want to do the comparisons, you can do that. But in my personal opinion, you can't compare either of them, right? And that's not to say Kendrick isn't amazing, an icon in his own right. And I think he is going to be in his own field of that level of icon. That's what's dope about Kendrick Lamar. He doesn't need to be Michael Jackson, right? But Michael Jackson was just a different nigga. He was a different nigga, bruh. And people had to go to the store. They had to get up off their ass, get in their car, drive to the store and get that CD. You couldn't just sit here and at the press of a button, listen to a song for 15 seconds. I don't like that. Another song for 15 seconds. I don't like that. And all that shit count for streams. Imagine Michael Jackson selling 13,000 pure copies. Come on. That's what I'm saying. People had to get up off their ass and go buy this stuff. You couldn't just have it's a different level. It's levels for real. Now, what we're going to do now is take a look at the number ones, just so you can also see there's multiple levels to this conversation, and we're going to have all of them. Okay? Let's just take a look at these number ones that Drake has in comparison to Michael Jackson's. Okay? So you got Janice, Shut the Fuck Up, right? First Person Shooter, Slime You Out with SZA, Jimmy Cooks with 21 Savage, Wait For You with Future and Tim's, which honestly is not a bad song. It's a pretty good song. Way Too Sexy, like come on, man. What's Next? Tootsie Slide? Really? In My Feelings? Good song, to be honest. Nice for What? Good song. God's Plan, like One Dance, Work, What's My Name? Like, think about the level of true relevance in what's being said in any of these songs. From a legacy standpoint, from a what am I leaving behind to the youth? What am I leaving behind to the next generation? Are any of these songs genuinely elevating anything or anybody? Like, I get, and we're going to talk about the other stuff in a second, but like, just because when we go to Michael Jackson stuff, you're going to see what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, let's just do it now. Let's just go back and forth now. Okay? Ben, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Rock With You, Billie Jean, Beat It, Say, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel, Man in the Mirror, Dirty Diana, Black or White, You Are Not Alone. Like, this is what I'm saying, man. Okay? Michael Jackson achieved, and don't get me wrong, he got some Drake-esque stuff where it's just to make you feel, just to make you dance, boom, boom. That's what I'm saying. That's why Michael Jackson is different. But at the same time, you got storytelling records that are breaking down stories and breaking down concepts and taking you through time lapses and all this different stuff. You got songs that really matter, that really change the way people perceive things. Man in the Mirror, You Are Not Alone. You know what I'm saying? Songs that touch the heart. Songs that really make you feel something deep, something powerful. Right? Storytelling. You feel what I'm saying? Man in the Mirror, Dirty Diana. You feel what I'm saying? Billie Jean. Like, these are all songs that are versatile in the aspect. And we're not even talking about how they sound. That's just a whole nother conversation, right? These songs clearly have, bro, this stuff is saying 1983, my nigga. 1983. What are we talking about? These songs are coming back surging on the billboards. You see what I'm saying? So it's the versatility in the relevance and the power in Michael Jackson's message. It's way easier to just take a formula and follow that formula and just appeal to pacifying people and just and that. And I'm not saying, you know what, if you're gonna make the dance records and that's your style, that's nothing. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. But if we're comparing the two, not only is Michael Jackson giving you dancing and giving you feel-good music and giving you boom, but he's also giving you storytelling, cautionary tales, and songs that make you reflect on who you are and what you're contributing to the world. That's way harder to do. To get these number one records with things, with saying something that matters. That's way harder. That's way harder than to just follow a formula. Not to mention, Michael Jackson is responsible for way more of his music than Drake is for his. We just got to be real. On top of the fact, and musically, it's just nothing to talk about, bro. Like, let's go back. Musically, it's nothing. Bro, fucking Tootsie Slide. Look, somebody said, I seen somebody say, Drake's number ones is Bam Adebayo's 83. Bam Adebayo's 83 is not the same as Kobe's 81. Kobe's 81, they was battling in the game. He's making all these difficult shots. He's doing all this different stuff. Bro, if you go watch Bam Adebayo's 83, yes, he got buckets, but goddamn, they intentionally fouling. They hacking the game to make sure that Bam Adebayo is getting this record. You see what I'm saying? And that's how Drake's number ones, and it's not to say that all of them are that way, but for the mass majority of these number ones that we looking at, it's like, bro, look, Jimmy Cooks, Way Too Sexy, Tootsie Slide, come on, man. Left foot up, right foot slide. They tried to force bro. What are we doing, man? Some of these songs are, and then on top of that, now let's move. Now that's just the genuine musical conversation. There's clearly a fucking difference in levels between the musical creation between Michael Jackson and Drake, and the levels in which Michael Jackson shows in his music. The level of writing, the level of storytelling, the level of reflection, the level of powerful, just power in Michael Jackson's music that stands the test of time forever. Okay? Now let's get to the other conversation. On top of this, we know that Drake is doing this in the streaming era. Drake hasn't been selling. People aren't going out and buying Drake's CDs, products. They're not doing that. And what people try to do is then say, they try to flip the conversation by Spotify and Apple helping them, of course, saying streaming matters more than people going out and grabbing your real motherfucking stuff. Your real art, like your real CDs, your real vinyls, your real all this different stuff. That's way different. Drake doesn't do that because people aren't going to go do that in bulk. They're not going to. They stream Drake because Drake's music is microwave and it's cheap. Just like this list of number ones. It's just cheap as fuck. This is cheap music for the most part. I'm not going to say all this is cheap. But for the most part, this shit is cheap. And we got to be honest. And the whole thing I'm trying to get across is like, when we got all this different evidence of Spotify allowing artists to bot, Spotify allowing artists to manipulate the numbers, Young Thug being caught on phone calls trying to buy number ones and trying to do all this different stuff, and the numbers are manipulated, the numbers are forced, and they war for a little while, for years. And there was a group of niggas that was taking advantage of that and just abusing it. You can't genuinely compare that to Michael Jackson. That's ridiculous. And anybody that's doing that is being delusional and they're not being serious. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell niggas, look, if you a Drake fan and you want to give Drake his credit, I'm not saying you can't do that. Go ahead and celebrate however you feel. That's your reality. But to make the conversation Drake versus Michael Jackson as if Drake officially, cut that shit out, man. Cut it out, man. Stop it, bro. That's enough. All right? Y'all done a lot. Sit that one out. Because at the end of the day, it's a reason Michael Jackson is still what Michael Jackson is. Facts. You can literally look at these songs and see the difference in quality, see the difference in intention. That nigga Michael Jackson was walking around getting this stuff from Spirit. I know y'all seen that scene. He said, "Yeah, if I don't listen to them, they gonna give these songs to Prince." That's that shit that y'all be trying to call back crazy and like off the wall and like all that stuff y'all be calling it. And that's that, by the way. But yeah, he getting these songs from Spirit. He getting these songs from the unknown. He's aligned, creating this stuff, setting the standard. Drake not setting a real standard, man. Drake not raising a bar except for manipulate the game and run the stats up as much as possible. He's not setting a bar. Michael Jackson was setting excellence, a level of excellence. Not a level of just, let's just say it because we did it. Let's just do the records because we did it. But a level of excellence came with what Michael Jackson produced. A level of excellence that people chase. When you're chasing Drake, it's not, no. It's levels, bro. Now, outside of the music itself, outside of the manipulation of the views, the manipulation of the bots, the manipulation of all these different things in order to get these number ones, let's just talk about the fact that this is clearly just pure narrative. Pure narrative. Pure propaganda. Somebody will get in the comments talking about people who don't, just because someone disagrees with you don't mean it's propaganda. Bro, look. Whenever you got to go against reality to push this idea of something taking place, and you know there's all types of context to this, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Come on, my dude. Let's be real here. Let's be honest. Thriller is... Does Drake have the highest selling album of all time? Can Drake go do stadiums consistently? No. It's levels, bro. It's more to it than just... Does Drake have a You Are Not Alone? Drake, I don't think Drake even had that in his body. Like, if Drake literally did what Kendrick told him to do and accepted the ego death, took some psychedelics, boom, boom, I still don't know if he got something like You Are Not Alone in his body. Something that really deeply touched the hearts. That's not predicated on being jaded. Not predicated on being on getting revenge. Not predicated on really negativity. But a powerful song. I mean, people are gonna say God's plan, right? But even in that song, it's the same thing. It's still jaded shit. But songs is just powerful and speaking to the world, right? No, it's levels. It's levels, bro. It's levels. Michael Jackson's music is gonna live forever. It don't need the bots. It don't need Spotify trying to amplify your shit and trying to fake your shit. It don't need Apple trying to fake your stuff. It don't need none of that. His music alone, who he was as a human being and what he did for people. What he contributed to the world. How he looked out for the children. How they try to turn that, you know what? We saving that for the Michael Jackson Theory. We saving a lot for the Michael Jackson Theory music, the Michael Jackson Theory video, because the Patreon got a version of it that's not really edited and boom broken down. We gonna save that for a real breakdown of what's going on here. You see what I'm saying? But you can't. It's just levels. It's levels, bruh. And I'm tired of people trying to compare the streaming era to artists who was really out. You really had to go outside and go buy this shit, my nigga. The seats, the asses in the seats. Asses in the seats. Asses in the seats. That's how you know what is going on. All of the plant, and that's the thing. They got plant allegations on everybody. Like Drake, not the real plant, and they doing a great job of spinning all the things that's going on with Drake on the others. But the real plant has always been Drake. It's always been Drake. Drake has always been planted to be pushed into this direction. And we know this. But it's levels. You can't fake that. You can't fake what Michael Jackson did. And that's all I really wanted to say, man. I appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, especially if you're new here, especially if you've been here, man. We gotta stop this. We gotta stop this conversation. It's, you want to celebrate Drake? Go ahead, but quit trying to act like that. Nah, y'all niggas tripping. Call me a hater. Call me whatever you want. That's reality, bruh. Y'all niggas tripping. All right. Like, comment, subscribe, especially if you're new, especially if you're here. Tapping with the Patreon. Check out the Michael Jackson Theory on Patreon because that's is aging incredibly. Go check that out. The Michael Jackson Theory video coming to YouTube very soon. Stay tuned. I'm about to get working on it. Let's get it, man.